Chosen one, do not skip this message. If your spirit led you to this page, it is because you are walking in a divine moment that demands your attention. This is not simply another video in your feed. If you are not marked by a high calling, if you do not feel the weight of a spiritual destiny, then the instruction within this message is not for you, and you should stop watching immediately. This content is sacred, sealed by heaven, and directed only to the souls chosen for a powerful, specific assignment in this generation. This is far beyond mere entertainment. It is your battle plan. You are placed here not merely to endure the existence of life, but to rise up and conquer the darkness that surrounds the world. Your next crucial mission is clear. You must eliminate the spirit that has been systematically targeting your bloodline. I need to ask you some deep, penetrating questions right now. Have you been experiencing dreams that feel prophetic, almost like direct warnings rather than hazy visions? Do you have an unsettling awareness of an invisible pressure surrounding you, a presence that seems to be lurking in the spiritual atmosphere, perpetually watching, waiting for a moment of weakness? Are you living in a constant, brutal cycle of spiritual warfare that seems to have no logical or natural explanation in the physical world? If you can honestly answer yes to these questions, I need you to know this: you are not imagining things. You are not emotionally or mentally unstable. You are being called up and assigned to the front lines of a spiritual war. This instruction is not designed to instill fear in your heart. Its sole purpose is to ignite spiritual empowerment. Understand this truth: when the frequency of angelic visitations begins to escalate in your life, and the spiritual warfare against you intensifies to an unbearable level, this is universally a clear signal. It means God has entrusted you with a divine message, a profound revelation, or a specific task that carries immense weight in the unseen realm, and with every single divine message there comes an inevitable confrontation. There is always an enemy, a spiritual entity specifically designed to confuse, disrupt, delay, or utterly destroy the fulfillment of that message. But you were fundamentally created to fight, not to surrender or bow down to anything. So, before we take the next step and go deeper into this powerful revelation, I need you to engage your faith right now. This is a moment of confirmation. If you know, deep in your spirit, that this message is speaking directly to the contract written over your life, I want you to confirm it in the comments. Drop a 777 right now. If your inner spirit has been stirred or agitated recently, and you feel the undeniable sensation that the spiritual atmosphere around you has dramatically shifted, you must confirm that alignment now. Subscribe to this channel, tap the bell icon to receive all future instruction, and critically, share this video with at least one other person you know carries a spiritual mark on their life. This is much more than a simple video. It is a mandate and a spiritual wake-up call. You are not merely someone who believes in God. You are a weapon forged for war. It is time for you to fully understand and learn how to wield the spiritual authority and power that heaven placed inside of you from the moment you were conceived. We are now moving into the core instruction. Chosen one, I need you to listen with the deepest level of attention your spirit can muster. The demon you are currently confronting did not stumble into your life by random chance or unfortunate circumstance. You were not a random target. You were specifically marked for a purpose. When heaven places its unique divine purpose upon a person, it is a signature that hell immediately notices. The relentless spiritual battles you have been navigating lately, that crushing, invisible pressure, the recurring warfare that feels like a non-stop attack, this is not just the ordinary difficulty of life. This is profound, undeniable spiritual encounter. It serves as concrete evidence that a divine assignment has been recognized and targeted by the opposition in the spirit realm. You were commissioned into this world carrying a unique spiritual code, a powerful blueprint that the enemy detected and cataloged long before you fully understood your own identity or potential. From the moment you drew your first breath, you have never, ever walked alone in this world. The presence of angelic visitation has been tracking you, Even in those seasons of profound darkness or doubt, where you could not physically sense its proximity, and where there is such a powerful divine presence, there is always opposition. The entire kingdom of darkness does not waste its precious resources fighting souls who have no spiritual potential. It strategically attacks those who are born with spiritual authority, the ones who carry a prophetic blueprint for their generation. The specific demon you are dealing with right now is attempting much more than just causing minor delays in your career or life plan. Its primary objective is to silence your voice. Why? Because once your voice becomes fully activated in the power of your divine calling, it transforms into a devastating weapon of mass destruction in the spiritual domain. This is the precise reason why your prophetic dreams have been under constant, relentless attack. This is why your deepest relationships, your emotional stability, and even your fundamental sense of identity have often felt like a violent, unending battlefield. You must realize this powerful truth. You are the first person in your entire bloodline who possesses both the spiritual discernment required to see this specific demon and the full authority granted to utterly destroy it. Those who came before you, your parents, your grandparents, may have sensed its presence. Some may have even attempted to fight it with limited tools, but they were never fully equipped for this particular confrontation. You, chosen one, are not just adequately equipped. You are anointed for this victory. Those prophetic dreams you experience are not merely a random side effect of being a spiritual person. They are your direct, high-level battlefield intelligence. With every dream you have, heaven is providing you with a detailed map, a crucial warning, or a vital clue to navigate the spiritual landscape. But here is a profound truth that very few people in spiritual circles will openly discuss. Not every dream is symbolic. Some of them are literal, direct assignments from the unseen realm. The specific demon you frequently see, the crushing spiritual pressure you consistently feel it, is not showing itself to frighten you. It is showing itself because it is deeply threatened. This entity is threatened by the fact that you are finally awakening to your power. It is threatened by your increasing obedience to divine instruction. It is fundamentally threatened by the reality that you are, at last, beginning to grasp and understand who you are in the powerful realm of the Spirit. Chosen one, you need to understand the true nature of what is happening. This is not just a standard spiritual warfare scenario. This is a divine message that has been strategically dressed up as a battle. And yes, God allowed it. He permitted this warfare, not with the intention of destroying you, but for the sacred purpose of revealing you to yourself and to the enemy. There are certain high-level spiritual truths that can only be unlocked through confrontation. There are profound realms of authority, levels of clarity, and deep revelations that simply do not come through prayer alone, no matter how fervent. They are acquired only through intense resistance, through the demanding proving ground of spiritual warfare. This is the reason why you have likely felt so intensely isolated in recent times. It is not because people suddenly stopped liking you, or because you are a difficult person. It is because heaven was actively separating you from the noise and distractions of the world, so that you could hear your mission and instruction with perfect clarity. And the instruction, the mission, remains this: you must kill the demon that has been strategically hiding in the patterns of your life, within the history of your bloodline, within your destructive habits, and inside the strongholds of your mind. You must execute this assignment with your full spiritual authority. This is not about a quick, one-time exorcism where you cast something out and then simply move on with your life. This is a process of becoming the kind of vessel that the demon fears so much that it would never dare to even approach your atmosphere again. Achieving this requires deep spiritual maturity. It requires unreserved submission to God's will. It demands absolute obedience to the instructions of the Holy Spirit. Before God sends you out into a major war, He always takes time to strengthen your armor and temper your spirit. This is precisely why things have felt so incredibly heavy, and why you may have experienced a season of intense spiritual quietness. You have not been ignored by God. You have been forged, you have been sharpened, and you have been tempered in the fire of testing. The reason for this intense preparation is simple, so that when you strike, the demon cannot recover. It won't get back up to fight you again. You might be struggling with a deeply human question right now. Why me? Why would God assign a confrontation this massive to someone like me who feels so weak? I can tell you the exact, powerful reason why. Because you are the one who will not permanently bow down. Because even when you feel utterly defeated and weak, your spirit always gets back up for the next round. While others were merely playing games with minor spirits, you started praying and actively fighting against them. You have been shown too much. You have sensed too much. And you have spiritually survived too much to live a quiet, complacent life anymore. You are not simply a person who believes in the spiritual realm. You are a person who moves in it, who can instinctively sense a shift in the atmosphere long before it arrives, and who consistently receives warnings before danger physically manifests. That level of spiritual sensitivity is not random or a curse. It is a profound and essential part of your assignment. Let me make this point crystal clear for your spirit. The demon was assigned to you because the victory was also assigned to you. The very moment this entity manifested in your life, heaven already knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that you possessed the necessary power and authority to win the fight. This is why the attacks you experience have been so specific. This is why the temptations have been so uniquely tailored to your weaknesses. The demon has spent time studying you. It has tracked your movements. It knows your weaknesses, yes, but far more importantly, it knows your strength. And it lives in fear of the precise moment you fully realize how much spiritual authority you carry. That moment, chosen one, is now. If you are still watching this message, it means the demon has not yet won. It means you remain perfectly in position to complete the assignment that was given to you. I want you to confirm your resolve and endurance. Comment 333 right now. If you know that this prophetic word is speaking to your current reality, and you have been battling something far larger than any human logic can explain, then say it boldly. Chosen one, you were fundamentally born for this specific moment, commissioned not just to survive the surrounding darkness, but to command it to flee in terror. The demon's presence was permitted in your life, not for your destruction, but for the profound revelation of your spiritual dominion. The time for waiting is over. Now you must walk in the dominion that was given to you at your birth. Chosen one, now that you have fully grasped the personal and divine nature of this great battle, you must move toward an even deeper level of understanding. The demon you have been assigned to kill may not look like what your mind is expecting. Your eyes have been searching for an enemy that is dark, overtly terrifying, and obviously evil. But what if I told you that the most profoundly dangerous spirits are often the ones that are the most expertly disguised? What if I revealed that the very thing you are fighting is not always something outside of you, but an entity that has been quietly hiding within specific patterns, memories, and especially emotions that you have gradually normalized as simply who you are? Some of these powerful spirits do not manifest with terrifying red eyes and tangible shadows. They show up deceptively, often disguised as false comfort, as a repeated temptation that you justify, or as toxic relationships you keep trying to explain away. They arrive wearing the peaceful mask of familiarity, but they consistently leave your inner spirit completely shattered. And this, tragically, is the point where many chosen ones get spiritually stuck. Not because they lack the inherent power to win, but because they simply do not recognize the true nature of what they are commanded to destroy. Let me make this essential spiritual truth absolutely plain. These enemies are not always external, free-roaming spirits. Sometimes they exist as deep strongholds, entrenched patterns of limiting thought, destructive emotional loops, or unholy soul ties that all have profoundly spiritual origins. They use unhealed trauma as a doorway into your life. They wear the masks of crippling depression, relentless lust, pervasive anxiety, deep-seated bitterness, or destructive pride. They slip into your life quietly and then grow exponentially in silence. Some of you have been having recurrent prophetic dreams, repeatedly seeing the same person, the same distinct room, or experiencing the exact same feeling. This is not some strange coincidence. This is the spirit realm vividly highlighting an issue that requires your immediate, forceful confrontation. But here is the most deceptive element of the entire process. The demon will never reveal its true, ugly form to you unless you are ready and able to face it head on. So, instead of revealing itself, it works tirelessly to keep you distracted, keeping you spiritually bound to things that feel strangely familiar but are spiritually lethal. That connection that is perpetually on again, off again, which completely drains your inner peace but continually calls you back to it. That may be far more than mere emotional confusion. It could be demonic entanglement. That sudden, intense rush of unholy desire or lust that manifests out of nowhere, especially after you have just prayed or completed a fast, that is not a random occurrence. That is a swift, targeted retaliation from the enemy. The moment you begin to align yourself with your divine message, the demon that was assigned to halt your progress immediately begins to violently react. This is precisely why you must maintain an extremely high level of spiritual sensitivity. You are not simply a chosen one in name. You are a walking radar system for spiritual movement and activity. This is the reason why your energy feels profoundly off when you enter certain physical spaces. This is why you sense a crushing heaviness around specific people, even before they have spoken a single word to you. You are spiritually picking up signals that others completely ignore. This is not an indication of emotional instability. It is a sign of high-level spiritual intelligence. But here lies the inherent danger. When your spiritual gift of discernment is untrained, the demon will skillfully use it as a weapon against you. It will send various emotional decoys. It will strategically place people in your life who speak all the right words but carry the completely wrong spirit. It will make you question your own intuition, your own prophetic visions and dreams. The very moment you begin to second-guess your God-given prophetic instincts, the demon gains significant ground in your life. Let's go into an even deeper truth now. Many of the angelic visitations you experience do not come simply to bring you comfort or a pleasant feeling. Their primary purpose is to warn you and provide strategic intelligence. Some of you have felt something physically brush past you in the darkness of the night. Some of you have distinctly heard your own name being called out when you are in the middle of a dream. Others have had sudden, undeniable spiritual encounters where your heart raced uncontrollably and your atmosphere dramatically shifted, yet you could not comprehend the reason why. These are not accidents. These are heavens and disruptions intended to call your spirit to immediate attention. This is because the powerful demon you are destined to destroy does not just affect your personal life. It has been actively controlling destructive patterns within your extended family, within your generation, and potentially even within your geographical region. You were not chosen simply for your personal victory. You were chosen for territorial deliverance. This is the reason why the demon is so profoundly embedded in your life. It has been operating here for a very long time, but you have also been present and growing in power for a very long time. The biggest, most detrimental mistake you can ever make is to treat an ongoing, real spiritual war as if it were merely a passing emotional episode. This is precisely how these entities manage to hide themselves behind modern therapy terms, general personality types, or broad cultural acceptance. Now, please do not misunderstand me. Mental health is absolutely real, and your emotions matter profoundly. But some of the deepest, most persistent things you are wrestling with cannot be successfully medicated away. They must be decisively cast out, spiritually cut off, and confronted with divine authority. This is the ultimate danger of being highly spiritual yet profoundly unaware of your enemy's tactics. You risk becoming desensitized to the very entity you were anointed and called to destroy. Chosen one, the demon will not tremble because you cried. It will only flee immediately when you take your stand in unyielding authority, and operating in true spiritual authority demands absolute clarity. Before you can successfully kill this entity, you must first and foremost identify what you are actually fighting. This is the reason why God has been intentionally showing you these recurring patterns. This is why the exact same temptations keep recycling themselves into your life. This is why the same kind of destructive person keeps entering your life, simply wearing a different face and body. It is not a coincidence. It is an unmistakable spiritual signature, and until you confront it head-on, that negative cycle will continue to loop indefinitely. There are specific types of spirits that will only respond to revelation, meaning the instant you see it clearly for what it truly is. Its power over you immediately begins to break. But merely seeing it is not enough. You must follow through with decisive action. You must speak to it. You must renounce its legal claim. Some of you must return to your sacred prayer closet and call that entity by its name. You must declare, "Spirit of rejection, I see you and I reject you. Spirit of lust, I am not afraid of your presence. Spirit of fear, you will not silence my voice again." This is the critical juncture where your spiritual encounter is transformed into your permanent spiritual breakthrough. This is the moment when you decisively stop negotiating with the enemy and you begin to command it to leave. And here is a powerful truth that many spiritual leaders refuse to say out loud. The demon is not always the only enemy. Sometimes the enemy is actually your own excuse. It is the thing you have clung to in order to strategically avoid growth, confrontation, or the difficult process of healing. Sometimes it feels strangely more comfortable to assign blame to an external spirit than to take full, personal responsibility for your choices. But if you are truly a chosen one, you simply do not have the luxury of avoiding the truth. You are called by God to walk in it, regardless of the cost. This is true even when it costs you your comfort, even when it exposes your deepest wounds, and even when it demands your total obedience. This specific demon, whatever form it has chosen to take in your life, was not sent to destroy you. It was purposefully permitted to reveal you to yourself. It was allowed to manifest so that you could learn the clear, fundamental difference between your transient feelings and your eternal spiritual authority. You are far more than just a sensitive, spiritual soul. You are a threat to the kingdom of darkness, and the sooner you fully accept and embrace this reality, the sooner your next level of spiritual power will unlock and become available to you. You have absolutely no reason to fear this demon. You just need the courage to unmask it. Once you clearly see it, it immediately loses its power over you. Once you name it and speak to it, it loses its grip. Once you confront it with the full weight of your authority, it will begin to crumble and flee. Heaven did not merely choose you to engage in a fight. Heaven equipped you to fully finish this spiritual contract and secure the victory.